a book called life. Life is a book with many chapters. No one has power over these chapters. See, the day you were born, your book was published to the world, titled Your Name. See, the contents of this book is unknown to your parents, although they conceived you. It's unknown to your grandparents despite their wisdom. It's unknown to your pastor despite his knowledge of the word. It's unknown to everybody else but its author. And the name of this author is our heavenly God, the one who was and will forever be, the beginning and the end. As it's a book, see, life may feel impossible to live. This is because the only way to get answers or direction from this book is when you read all chapters without skipping a page. When you leave every chapter without taking shortcuts. To many, this may feel like a very long journey to the end. See, just like with all books, storyline differs. Genres differs. For some, their books are science fiction, for some horror, for some comedy, for some romance, for some all genres in one. However, though, unlike other authors, the author of this special book has assured us no matter the start and the middle, there is a happy ending for everyone. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and hope. What this means to us is no matter the storyline of your book, the main goal is to give you a future and hope. See, those downsides in your book are not for evil but for welfare. See, with every book, as I said, storyline differs. That's what makes it more interesting. That's what makes life worth living. That's what makes you a unique individual. I want you to remember this whenever you get to that chapter of unemployment, that chapter of terminal illness, that chapter of homelessness, that chapter of failure, that there is an end goal to your story. There is a happy ending awaiting. There is a plan to give you future and hope, not a plan for evil, but for happiness. See, if you think your life or book is a horror, think of the likes of Job in the Bible. Everything he cherished, everything he ever held dear was taken away from him. I'm talking his children, his wealth, his health, all gone. But what did he do? See, Job knew he wasn't the author of his life. Therefore, it was not in his place to find solutions. He knew he had to leave that chapter. See, that phase for the glory of God to be seen upon his life. He knew despite what he was going through, there was a plan upon his life. The one that's not for evil but for welfare, for happiness. A plan to give him a future and a hope. Just like Job, it's not in our place to try and make sense of our life. We do not know the half of it. Things go downhill for us because we are trying to reach the end of the book without reading the beginning or the middle part. We try to live a life without direction just so somehow we reach our destinies quicker, just so somehow we live our purpose lives. Trying to find shorter ways to life. Saying words like God help those who help themselves. Making unnecessary efforts. See, all you need to know is trying to find your own solutions. You're only prolonging your time on that chapter. When God wrote your book, He did not mean for you to dwell a long time on your rough patches. It was only a storyline that was meant to pass quickly. For He said His plans are not for evil but for welfare. Your troubles are only chapters of suspense to show the glory of God. They are tests that are due to pass for there to be a testimony upon your life. The problem we're making as Christians of these days is we are stopping at each chapter of our books and trying to make sense of it. We reach a point where we are going through financial difficulties. We stop and try to make sense of it. But maybe if you read on, you may realize that the next page, God gave you your financial breakthrough that shocked nations. Let us not dwell in our hard chapters of life. Let us read on more pages. Let's find out what happens next. Let's read on to find out the next steps to take. Stopping to read after every chapter will only prolong our time in the wilderness, just like the Israelites. A journey of 11 days took them 40 years. See, those who started the journey did not even make it to the promised land. I'm sure that's not what you want for your life. I'm sure you want to reach the end of your book fulfilled, knowing that you came on earth, you conquered, and you completed your mission. Let us not dwell in our rough patches. Let us read on and see what God has in store for us. When we are unsure, it's not for us to find solutions, for the author who holds answers is only a prayer away. Ask Him to show you the way. Ask Him to give you strength to endure the rough patches so you get past them quickly. Ask Him to be your light and your guide. And He's always there for us. Amen. Have a lovely day. Thank you.